What's up guys, this is Max King and today we're going to talk about an argument that is really interesting. I have a lot of questions about it, and is sex before working out or sex before competition. Is this a legend? Is this a myth? We're going to debunk it right now in this channel. And before we start, we got to divide the things in two different categories, because when we talk about sex and testosterone or sex and chi, the Chinese energy we have in our body, we got to figure it out which direction we got to take, because it's so various the subject that we need to decide under what perspective we're gonna look at the argument. So if we talk about science, there are two important studies. One is a Chinese study of 2003. This is where you can find this study. It's about 28 individuals. For a week, they've been tested. They've been tested in this way. They are like controlling their ejaculation. They were not ejaculate at all. They are controlling the serum of testosterone in their testes, and how these were changing during the week. So they see that during the week there was no big change on the testosterone, but on the 7th day there was an increase of testosterone up to 147%. So you can imagine a line will go like this, and then boom, come up, and then down again on the 8th day. So how do you explain this? You cannot storage testosterone. So people will say, oh, I'm going to storage testosterone, then to go boom and have the best sex of my life. That's not kind of true. You can increase your aggression, but you cannot store testosterone. But on the 7th day, you have an increase of testosterone based on science. So what's happened? You have this increase, and then you have a drop right away after, because of the suppression of luteinizing hormone due to the negative feedback. So what you should do, in my opinion, if you're interested in this argument, is like to have this 7 days of no sex before a fight, and use the 7th day as the day of the fight. So you consider the day before the fight. You say, on the 7th day, I'm going to have my fight, and then I'm going to have the best sex of my life with my wife or with my girlfriend or with a stripper. It depends what you like. So, and this can be related to even Freddie Roach, for example, and he say to the athletes in boxing to hold back from training for at least 10 days, from sex for at least 10 days before the fight. And you can see that even if it's related to something experiential or boxing, there is no scientific reason behind it. Now you can find a connection between the Chinese study and what some MMA fighter believe in abstinence before a fight. Even Muhammad Ali will stay like 3-4 weeks without having any sex. Same was from Manny Pacquiao. Same from Roy Orbison. Roy Orbison is a singer. Whatever, but it's well known in the boxing and MMA that women weaken legs. So that's something that has been part of the myth forever, since Plato in 444 before Christ. That was even there in the ancient Greek, this myth of like no sex, because it's gonna make you relax, it's not gonna make you perform at the best. But there is the second study I was talking about in Geneva. They say that these people have sex under control study. They have two different groups. One having sex in the morning, and the other one had no sex in the morning, and how this sex in the morning was affecting during the day the performance on max effort, or the VO2 max, on ability, or everything that is related to fitness, and see if the sex in the morning was affecting that. And there was no effectiveness. No effect. No effect on testosterone, no effect whatsoever on the performance. So, now, knowing this fact, what we should believe? Scientifically, there is no reason to believe that sex hinder your gains, hinder your testosterone. Well, there is. In the 2 hours after sex, there is a drop of testosterone that of course, can lower your testosterone, and you're gonna feel like, due to the different hormones, serotonin or whatever, you probably don't feel like working out. That's what happened if you go on forum or online. You see a lot of people on bodybuilding say, "Oh man, I have sex with my girlfriend, I banged her and I couldn't. After that, I went to train and my train was horrible." A lot of people talking about that, and it's true. Probably this affect your body, but if you have sex the night before with your girlfriend and then the day after you have a competition, there is no physiological difference. But I believe something. I believe we are human beings with a need, with more than a need, with a basic need. If you look at the Maslow pyramid, we have a need for food, we have a need to have a safe place, and we have a need for sex. So, as a human being, as a species, sex is basic for us. You know, it's a need, and behind every need there is power. Behind every need there is power, and behind power there is a need. So, what's happening here? That if you fulfill the need of sex before a competition, before working out, you kind of stuck. I mean, you're stuck in something that is a state where you want to just chill. You want to just, or maybe have more sex, but of course you don't want to go there and fight. And you don't have that hunger, that competitive edge that somebody that has been like without sex for a week has. You know, that's the difference. So, in my opinion, if you're a fighter, or you're a power lifter, you just want to get at your top level of your competitive edge, you want to follow your instinct as a human being, you should avoid sex before a fight. I believe that. At least, and then if you want to stay on the study, at least 6 days before. On the 7th day, you can have the best sex of your life. You can find the sugar wall and bang it, but now don't have any sex. And especially before the fight, 2 hours before, absolutely no. But, you know, this is just my opinion. I believe you can find other opinion that probably more scientific than mine, especially because if I even believe in this Eastern culture that come from everything you got inside of you is a chi, and if you on a Chinese energy, you don't want to release too much of this chi, because if you do it, you're gonna feel like what is called the petite mort in France, or the little death. That's how you feel after sex sometimes. Feel so relaxed that you're kind of like death inside, but in a good way. If it can be a good death. Well, so hopefully this help you understand this subject, or maybe make you more confused, because at the end we don't have an answer. This is Max King. Subscribe to my channel and see you soon.